You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans, we've got Taylor Hayes getting dumped soon, and that means we need to talk about what's next for her after her engagement ends abruptly. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and let's get into what happens after Ridge Forrester has a life-altering experience in Italy and decides to spend his forever after with his destiny dame, Brooke Logan. And hey, please subscribe if you're not following us and hit that like. So the groundwork's been laid for Taylor to be heartbroken after this big Euro trip. And by the way, Bold and the Beautiful just dropped a huge hint about what is going to happen to change Ridge's mind that's going to have him end his engagement to Taylor. So Brooke, Ridge, and Eric are all heading to Naples, Italy soon, and Nick Marone is going to be part of this Italian trip, despite Ridge insisting he doesn't want his brother along, especially after he just hijacked some silk from Forrester Creations by delaying the delivery. Thanks to Brad Bell, we know this incident in Naples changes Ridge's mind. We already knew there was some sort of accident that occurs while they're overseas, and we have a leaked image taken by a bystander that was near the shoot. That's why it's so blurry, because they were, not really close to it, but they were watching the filming. You can see Ridge is either jumping in or falling into the water. I wondered if his life might flash before his eyes if he has an accident. But this week, when Eric was nagging his son again to dump Taylor and get with Brooke, he said some things that weren't even subtle, but were definitely hints. Eric said, "You could lose Brooke forever." And Eric was saying, "You take it for granted Brooke's always going to be there." And Eric said, "It's a hard world out there," and asked Ridge, what if Brooke wasn't there anymore? That seems very doom and gloom. Based on this heavy-handed hinting from the writers, I looked again at that behind-the-scenes photo of Ridge, and to me, with that in mind, it looks like he's intentionally diving into the water. So I'm going to guess he's saving Brooke from drowning. That's why Ridge dived in. They keep showing flashbacks of that Portofino moment with Brooke in the gown on the boat coming across the water. They may try and recreate that moment, only Brooke falls overboard and she's in a heavy dress. That would obviously drag her down. So at any rate, I believe Ridge is going to rescue her. Their whole relationship flashes before his eyes. Then I bet he sees what Eric was saying. He's meant to be with Brooke. Inevitably, that leaves Taylor dumped and alone. So we wonder, once Ridge cuts Taylor loose and calls off the engagement, what then? What then for Taylor? Well, we've got a few ideas. First of all, I'd love to see this happen. Taylor ends up in a romance with Bill Spencer. And don't tell me Dollar Bill won't hook up with the hottie who shot him. That would be so on brand for Bill to get with Taylor, even though she put a bullet in his back. I mean, come on. Bill once had Sheila Carter in his bed, and she has shot several people. And Bill's single. He hasn't had love in a while. He's been dumped as a result of a Brooke Ridge reunion himself. So Taylor could absolutely open up to him. He's been there, done that, got the crappy t-shirt. Also, there's pretty much nobody on the horizon that's a romantic interest for Bill or Taylor. There are very few single men around. Bill's about the only one who's age appropriate for Taylor. There are some single ladies Bill could date, but Poppy seems like she is on his ex list for good. He does not want to get back with her. She's a terrible parent, drove Luna crazy. Her sister Lee is going to be busy taking care of probably not dead Luna. Dr. Grace has her own issues. Bridget's not sticking around, and Katie told him, nope, not again. Plus, most of the people in LA are still furious with Bill for the Luna debacle. I mean, Taylor is too, but she might be so distraught over Ridge dumping her for Brooke that she lets that slide and turns to Bill for comfort, and, it turns into something else. Bill might stumble across Taylor crying over Ridge and tells her she can do better than the dressmaker. And of course, her getting with Bill would infuriate Ridge. So really, Taylor might even get with Bill for just that reason. Another thing is Taylor may just take off again and leave LA like she's done before. In case you don't remember, Rebecca Budig debuted in the role of Taylor almost exactly 1 year ago on August 6, 2024. And even if they gave her a multi-year contract, they have the right to review it I think, every 6 months. And so they can terminate it at any time. They cut off the last Taylor, Krista Allen, they cut her contract off a year early. So it's just interesting that it's almost exactly the anniversary of her debut. These Italy episodes run from Monday, August 28th through Tuesday, August 5th, the day before her 1-year mark. So it could be Brad Bell signed Rebecca Budig only for a 1-year stint, or he's decided to let her go after a year because, Ridge comes back from Italy with hearts in his eyes for Brooke. He's going to dump Taylor, and maybe she slinks out of town all sad and lonely. Steffi, of course, would be mad if her mom left, but Jackie Wood also has maternity leave coming, so they could have Steffi and Taylor leave town together to go to Paris to spend time with Thomas and Douglas while Taylor recovers from another broken heart. Also, we could see Ridge breaking the engagement, causing Taylor more heart problems. She could have a health crisis, more broken heart syndrome. Ridge's betrayal could cause a relapse. I personally don't want to sit through more chakra sessions. No matter what, Steffi's going to be mad at Ridge for ditching Taylor after promising not to break her heart. So if Brad Bell's going to do a rewrite of Ridge and Brooke's reunion, crushing Taylor into a medical crisis, I'd personally rather see Rebecca Budig just go as Taylor. Although I do like her a lot. I loved her on General Hospital. She could just go back over there. That'd be great. If she does stick around at Bold and the Beautiful, I think it'd be fun to see Taylor going dark and trying to split Ridge and Brooke up. That would be a fun twist and a nice change of pace for Taylor to turn villainous and plot against them. However, I will also say Brad Bell said that once Ridge chooses Brooke this time, they're together forever. If that is really Brad Bell's plan for them going forward, it would be a waste of our time for Taylor to sit around sabotaging them. I'd rather her move on with another man or move away. One last thing that might be interesting for Taylor to do, whether she stays, whether she goes, she could do this before she goes, is to target Eric Forrester for payback. He's been scheming and plotting behind Taylor's back, actively telling Ridge to dump Taylor, and then Eric's being nice to her face. Ridge is a whole grown man, and his daddy shouldn't be telling him who to be with. Eric ignored Ridge when he told him, "Butt out of my love life," and then at the same time, Eric's smiling in Taylor's face while stabbing her in the back every time it's turned. So I'd be okay with her targeting Eric and possibly targeting his marriage to Donna. Countdown to Drama, because Bold and the Beautiful is showing those on-location episodes all of next week and into early the following week. And when Ridge comes back to town, he's going to be dropping a nuclear bombshell on Taylor, and I kind of hope she explodes on him.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.